Evergreens. I have a math problem and I need your help. Over the past few weeks, we've been doing so much preparation for the Regents that I actually forgot how to multiply binomials and factor quadratic equations. So I need you to help me remember how to do it. The first thing we are going to do is factor this quadratic expression. Now I remember we have to first put our quadratic equations into standard form, but I don't remember what that is. When I say go, turn and talk with your partner, what does it mean for a quadratic equation to be in standard form? Go. And come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. Oh, that's right. Standard form is when quadratics are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, just like we have here. Now when I say go, take 10 seconds silently and independently to label A, B, and C. Go. And come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. We should have found A is 2, B is 5, and C is negative 12. I remember at this point, we had to ask ourselves a very specific questions using these values of A, B, and C. When I say go, turn and talk with your partner. What question do we ask ourselves to continue factoring this equation? Go. And come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. The question we ask ourselves is what two numbers have a product of A times C and a sum of B? We know in this case that A times C gives us negative 24 and B has a value of 5. So we have to ask what two numbers have a product of negative 24 and a sum of 5. When I say go, work with your elbow partner to not only find our two numbers, but use them to rewrite our quadratic equation with 4 terms. Go. And come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. In this case, our two numbers were positive 8 and negative 3. And when we rewrite our equation, we should end up with 2x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 12 equals 0. I know the next step in factoring is to pull out the GCF on each side of the rewritten equation, but I don't quite remember how to do it. When I say go, work with your elbow partner in order to pull out the GCF from each side and rewrite this as the product of two binomials. Go. And come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. What we should have came up with is 2x minus 3 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. One area that may lead to confusion is how to go from the GCF pulled out of each side to the two binomials. Remember that our first binomial should come from the two binomials that are the same on each side. So this x plus 4 from each side comes down. And the coefficients, or the GCFs, on each side of the equation will form our second binomial. In this case, 2x and minus 3. Our next step is to check our work by multiplying the two binomials we found. When I say go, turn and talk with your partner. Which work sample on your handout shows the correct multiplication of the binomials and why? Go. and come back together in 3, 2, 1, time. In this case, sample 1 was incorrect and sample 2 was correct. Sample 2 rewrote the multiplication as double distribution. Sample 1 just multiplied the first term of each binomial and the last term of each binomial. So sample 2 was correct. Thanks, Evergreens. I knew I could count on you.